I watched the bonus episodes, and one thing that seemed out of place in some scenes in episodes like Jack Black and Crab Brog were the color as if it looked filmed in the olden times, like the 1960s, and it would flicker a little bit. I've turned a few episodes on one episode, Squids Visit, and the title card came up, but it looked rather eerie. For one, instead of the happy normal tune, it played the usual TV version, with the sound played a disturbing tune that sounded as if something was scraping along the hard ground, followed by a bang every few seconds. The title card showed a pineapple background, except it looked ruined, like if it was covered in gashes and scratch marks, as if something had just torn the apple's texture apart. Instead of the word Squid's Visit being in their usual blue and white, they were actually black and red. The episode started off normally, with SpongeBob asking Squidward to visit him, with Squidward saying no every time, but instead of taking no for an answer, SpongeBob steals Squidward's vacuum cleaner, like in the normal episode. And when Squidward comes to SpongeBob's house, he finds that SpongeBob redecorated to look exactly Squidward's. Every room was in detail. Every mark was correct. Things would go normally until the episode of Squidward decides to take looks for his vacuum cleaner in his art room. And this is where things start to get disturbing. Once he enters the art room, the room is extremely dark, although Squidward is still capable of seeing what is around him. An eerie wind chime-like tune begins to play as Squidward looks at the portraits around him, and some of them look slightly morbid. One of the paintings shows a decrepit and a fleable squid sitting over the edge of the bed and sobbing hysterically. One of the other plays a pale, thin Squidward, but then nothing but hollow sockets where his nose, face, and mouth should be. The other paintings displayed a clown from the original episode, but with black holes for eyes that seem to be crying blood. Squidward sits on the center of the rug and huddles in fear. He finds the closet door and goes to open it. Instead of finding a pile of SpongeBob stuff with a vacuum cleaner in it, like in the TV version, he finds a large stairway leading to a cold, dark basement. This is where things start to get truly disturbing. Squidward walks down the hallway into the basement, and what he sees is extremely eerie. He's standing inside the room with a dim-lit ceiling light in the center, along with chains hanging from the ceiling. On the opposite side of the room was a rusty cage. He walks to it, and there is a crude-looking sentence engraved in the front. The inscription, although scratchy, says, "Harry, friends forever." He looks inside the cage in its barred window, and is horrified to find the remains of someone who is trapped inside the cage, with interior filled with twisted and distorted drawings of and writing on the walls. Squidward is even more horrified when he sees that same name under Harry of his own. Squidward tries to escape as fast as he could, but all the doors are locked. Just as he tries to escape the back door, SpongeBob appears behind him, staring at him. SpongeBob looked psychotic, twitching and trembling as he walked. He had a huge unnerving smile on his face, and he was holding a bloody knife. Squidward, "Please let me out of here." SpongeBob, "I can't do that, Squidward. If I let you go, you will tell everything to the police, and nobody wants that, and you can't escape me. I barred every door, every window, and every secret passage, so you have no chance of getting out. But if you're stuck here, and once I'm finished with you, we shall be closer together forever." Squidward tries to break the door down, but it won't budge, and SpongeBob begins to cackle manically as he slowly approaches Squidward, who is now huddling in fear. The camera pans away from SpongeBob, but the shadows depicting SpongeBob raising a knife in the air can be seen. SpongeBob then peers the knife back into Squidward, causing a large graphic amount of blood to splatter on the wall, before suddenly cutting to black, but not without a horrible scream from that poor epilogue, and this episode ended. But thank God this was just an alternative timeline. The main Squidward is fine.